Good afternoon, students. In the part 4 of chapter number 3, today we will start the oogenesis. This is the procedure carried out in female, and the place of oogenesis is ovary. As the term oogenesis, it is further subdivided in two parts. The first is oo. Oo means ovum, or you can say in another words, egg. Although egg is comparatively different in comparison of ovum, genesis means to produce. As far as in the puberty age, oogenesis is carried out in the ovary. So the place of oogenesis is ovary. It is very complicated process and it takes different time to complete the stages. This is graphical presentation of ovary here, and its structure is divided in two parts. Outer part is cortex and the inner part is medulla. Medulla has arteries and veins in it, and it also possesses nerve fibers. We will discuss the oogenesis in detail. In the introduction of oogenesis, I have already told you the formation of a mature female gamete or ovum is called oogenesis. The first stage of the oogenesis, it starts during embryonic stage, 25th week of the fetal age. So you can see oogenesis starts in the embryonic condition, or you can say embryonic stage. Germinal epithelium of ovary divided mitotically to produce millions of gametes, mother cell, and it is known as oogonia. So dear students, oogonia are formed in the embryonic stage. No oogonia formed or added after birth. After birth, there is no oogonia formed. Now, oogonia enters into meiosis first and proceeds up to dikinesis of prophase first. As we all know, according to class 11th, meiosis first and the number 1 phase is prophase first. That is subdivided in 5 subphases, and the 5th phase is dikinesis, and get suspended at this stage called primary oocyte. So one important question is asked on this point. Primary oocyte, it is the suspended phase of prophase first, and the name is dikinesis. Each primary oocyte surrounded by layers of granulose cells and then called primary follicle. As the granulose cells covers the primary oocyte, then this primary oocyte is now known as primary follicle. At the puberty, only 60,000 to 80,000 primary oocytes are left in each ovary, and the rest of the primary oocytes are degraded. After puberty, primary follicle cells get surrounded by more layers of granulosa cells and a new theca form called secondary follicles. So, as primary follicle is surrounded by granulosa cells, or you can say layers of granulosa cells, then now there is a new term for this, that is secondary follicle. The secondary follicle transformed into tertiary follicle characterized by a fluid filled cavity called antrum. So there is one more question. What is the basic difference between secondary follicle and tertiary follicle? If fluid filled cavity is formed, then secondary follicle will convert into tertiary follicle, and this cavity is called antrum. The theca layers organized into an inner theca interna and outer theca interna. So theca layers are of two types. The first, which is inside the structure, it is called theca interna, and which is outside the layer, that is theca externa. During the growth of primary follicle into tertiary follicle, during puberty, the primary oocyte restarts its first meiotic division and completes it within tertiary follicle. So dear students, that the dikinesis was the suspended stage of Prophase first. It is again begun in puberty, and other stages are completed within tertiary follicle. It results in the formation of two unequal haploid cells. Large haploid cell is called secondary oocyte, and a teeny cell called first polar body. The first polar body is degraded and only secondary oocyte is left in the tertiary follicle. The secondary oocyte retains bulk of the nutrients rich cytoplasm of primary oocyte. As we know, primary oocyte possesses nutrient rich cytoplasm and still it is carry on to the secondary oocyte. The tertiary follicle having secondary oocyte further changes into a mature follicle that is known as Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle was discovered by Dr. C.V. Graaf. The secondary oocyte surrounded by new membrane called zona pellucida. Basically, zona pellucida is transparent layer and it is a dead layer. The secondary oocyte undergoes second meiotic division continued up to metaphase second. Now, secondary oocyte will show the further division or further phases of the division, and it is continued up to metaphase second. And again it gets suspended until entry of the sperm. So you can say secondary oocyte is the stage where ovulation is taken place. One more question is here. This is the second time when meiosis is suspended. At this stage, Graafian follicle releases secondary oocyte from the ovary by the process called ovulation. So, ovulation is the process of menstrual cycle. It is taken place on the 14th day of the menstruation. So, 14th day is the day of ovulation. On entry of a sperm into the secondary oocyte stimulates it to complete meiosis second. As the sperm comes in contact to secondary oocyte, then again rest of the phases of meiosis begin. And there is a formation of haploid ovum and a second polar body, and it is also degraded again. This is the figure of ovary, diagrammatic section view of ovary. You can see the central part, you can see the laser point. This inner part is known as stroma, while the outer part where these structures are formed is called cortex. In the stroma region, blood vessels like veins and arteries and nerve fibers are present. You can see these black or dark colored structures. These are known as primary follicles. Primary follicles is covered by a layer, and again when the number of layers are increased, then primary follicle will convert to secondary. So this is the secondary follicle and its name is not given in the figure. When a fluid filled cavity is formed in this structure, or you can say in the secondary follicle, then it is known as tertiary follicle showing antrum. The mature follicle of the human is known as Graafian follicle and it is discovered by Dr. C.V. Graaf. This process is a continuous process. At the 14th day of menstruation, Graafian follicle will burst and ovum is released. This process is called ovulation. And after the release of ovum, Graafian follicle converts into a yellow colored structure that is known as corpus luteum. One important fact about the corpus luteum is it is a temporary endocrine gland of human female body. So many times question is asked on this point, and corpus luteum releases female sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone. And this process continues up to 28th day in the ideal menstruation cycle. This is the figure number 3.8b. You can see the oogenesis. Oogenesis was started with oogonia. It was prepared by germinal epithelium of the ovary, and the repeated mitosis produces primary oocytes. Again remind you, primary oocyte is diploid in nature. Two and in nature, it means there is a set of chromosomes present in this. After the first meiotic division, prior to ovulation, secondary oocyte is formed. So you can see first meiotic division was completed before ovulation, and secondary oocyte is further subdivided by meiotic second and it forms a complete mature ovum. But ovum is produced only in the condition when any sperm of that species enters in the ovum, and secondary polar body is prepared and primary first polar body is prepared. First and second polar bodies are degraded. So again, one important thing is here, if there is a one primary oocyte, then after complete meiosis there will be a single ovum only. If there are 100 primary oocytes present, then it will give only 100 ovum, not just like the spermatogenesis where one primary spermatocyte was producing 4 sperms. So dear students, in this part of the video we will start the menstrual cycle. It is also known as menstruation. As far as its name is concerned, menstrual word is taken from a Greek word that is menses. Menses means lunar month. In Hindi it is known as Chandramas. It means the month that has 28 days. So dear students, in the human female body, a cyclical process is carried out which is known as incombined menstrual cycle. This menstrual cycle is further subdivided in 2 parts. The first is ovarian cycle. This is the cyclical changes completed in ovary. As I have described in the previous part of this video, first of all, human ovary contains primary follicle in it. After some changes, it converts to secondary, then tertiary, and finally it converts to Graafian follicle. At the 14th day, egg is released and it is known as ovulation, and after that it converts into corpus luteum. So all these cyclical changes is known as ovarian cycle. In the parallel of ovarian cycle, there are cyclic changes can be seen in the uterus also, in which uterine membrane, innermost layer of the uterine membrane, or you can say in the endometrium, it will show the changes. So all these changes which is carried out in the uterine cycle is called uterine cycle, and both in combined is known as menstrual cycle. As I have already told you in the introduction of menstrual cycle, it is taken from menses, which is lunar month. Reproductive cycle of female primates is called menstrual cycle. As far as examples are concerned, it is shown in the human and langur. The first menstruation begins at puberty is called menarche at the age of 10 to 12 years. So dear students, one question is asked on the menarche. What do you understand by menarche? Menarche is the age of puberty of 10 to 12 years in female when first menstruation begins. Menstrual cycle repeated at an average interval of 28 to 29 days. But remind you, its minimum day may be 20 days and it may be longer up to 35 days. One ovum is released in the middle of each menstrual cycle. It is called ovulation. In the ideal condition, the day of ovulation is 14th day of menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle has following phases. It means it is further divided in different parts, out of which the first is menstrual phase. First phase of menstrual cycle, menstrual flow occurs, means breakdown of endometrial lining and blood vessels, mucus, tissues, blood comes out through vagina. So the first 3 to 5 days of the menstrual cycle is called menstrual phase. It occurs only when ovum released but no fertilization is carried out. Lack of menstruation is the indication of pregnancy. Follicular phase. This is the second phase of the menstrual cycle. Menstrual phase followed by follicular phase. Primary follicle becomes Graafian follicle, or you can say mature follicle. If we compare the menstrual phase, then when primary follicle converts to Graafian follicle, it lasts up to 6th day to 13th day of the menstrual period. Regeneration and proliferation of uterine endometrium is taken place in this phase. If we will see the level of the LH and FSH hormone, it increases gradually in the follicular phase. We will see the graph based on this topic. Level of estrogen increases at it is secreted from growing follicle. And the day of follicular phase I have already shown you, 5th or 6th day to 13th days. In the next phase, ovulatory phase. This is the phase when ovum comes out from the Graafian follicle. The FSH and LH attain the peak level in the period, and the day is 14th day. Suddenly increase in the LH level in the blood is called LH surge. When we will undergo the blood testing, then at the 14th day you can see the top level of the LH hormone, that is called LH surge, which induces rupture of Graafian follicle and release of ovum from the ovary called ovulation. It means LH is responsible for the rupture of Graafian follicle and the release of ovum. It occurs on 14th day of menstruation. And in the last phase of menstrual cycle, that is the luteal phase, remaining part of Graafian follicle transformed into corpus luteum. Corpus luteum produces large amount of progesterone hormone. Progesterone maintains the uterine endometrium and prepares it for implantation. So again, one question is asked on this hormone. What is the pregnancy hormone? Progesterone hormone. Which hormone maintains the uterine endometrium and prepare it for implantation? Then your answer must be progesterone. Thickness of uterine endometrium increase in many folds due to proliferation. It means cells will divide again and again. A repeated mitosis will result in the proliferation of endometrium. If there is fertilization, suppose fertilization is taken place, the corpus luteum grows further and pregnancy continued. Menstrual cycle is temporarily stopped. Again, one question, menstrual cycle is temporarily stopped due to pregnancy. In the absence of fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates. Suppose 28 or more than 28 days are being, and after that corpus luteum will degenerate. The degenerating corpus luteum is called corpus albicans. One more question. The degenerating corpus luteum is called corpus albicans. Disintegration of endometrium leading to menstruation. If fertilization is not taken place, then endometrium will show the disintegration and a blood flow from the vagina can be seen. This is called menstruation. Menstrual cycle ceases around 45 to 50 years of age naturally in the female, and it is the permanent stoppage of the menstrual cycle and it is known as menopause. An important graph is given, especially in the NEET exams. Many questions are being asked on this point. You can see the figure 3.9, diagrammatic presentation of various events during a menstrual cycle. This is the day first and this is the day last, 28 or the next one. So you can clearly see this is the red colored structure showing the development of endometrium in uterus, while if we will see the graph, this is the primary hormone levels. FSH and LH hormones remains at a constant level up to first to 13 days. Certainly, the level of FSH and LH is increased in the blood, and sudden increase in the level of this blue colored graph, the sudden increase in the level of LH is called LH surge. This is the peak of LH hormone, and after the ovulation, again both the hormones will show the lower level and it takes a continuous level up to 28 days. This is the ovarian events, development of follicles. You can see this is the primary oocyte, primary follicle, secondary follicle, and fluid containing, or you can say antrum containing tertiary follicle. This is the mature follicle which is known as Graafian follicle, and 14th day you can say just this is the 13th and 15th. There is a straight black line. It shows the 14th day when Graafian follicle rupture and ovum is released. As the ovum is released from the Graafiel follicle, this follicle will convert to a yellow structure which is known as corpus luteum. It maintains the progesterone hormone, and similar, if we compare the level of the estrogen and progesterone, you can see from 1st to 13th day there is a constant level of estrogen hormone and progesterone hormone can be seen. As the 14th day, when ovulation is carried out, the level of estrogen and progesterone is slightly increased, and then again the level of estrogen is decreased, but the progesterone hormone level is maintained, and it will show the slight increase, and it is responsible for the luteal phase, or you can say secretory phase, where these hormones are secreted. So dear students, in the chapter number 3rd, part 4, we have completed the oogenesis and menstrual cycle. These are the important part of the chapter, and specially important questions can be prepared on the figure number 3.9. So just draw all these figures, try to learn all the things given in the chapter, and complete your NCERT book questions, and you can consult the reference book for higher knowledge. So dear students, this is the end of the today's topic. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.